Jeffrey thinks that height is all that matters. He walks being short and looks at people that are so taller than him and thinks, oh, there's nothing I can do to become taller, and that's all that's important, so I better kill myself because I have no chance of ever getting girls. He's not aware that sleeping late and playing video games for so many hours and not eating right is what actually causes his problems that he faces. Adonis. Adonis is tall, but not because of his genetics, because he knew that this is an important metric that you can change. He didn't start out tall like a fucking giant. He started at the height of this chair was him to my fucking knees, but he knew that eating right, sleeping well, and knowing all the other stuff will get him to the point where he should be. So height was never something I never cared about height. Up until I realized I was very fucking short. Because I always knew, like, I was short, but I never really cared. I was short, yeah, but I always secretly wanted to be taller. And in third grade, when I was a midget, classified as a midget, and we needed to write stories about a character, a fictional character. And in creative writing, that was the thing we did. And I created my character and I told him, okay, he's going to be 17. And then I thought about the height. And I so desperately wanted to be tall. I mean, imagine you're like so short that most people think you're 2 years younger than you actually are. Because that was basically how people thought I was short. Imagine this, bro. Imagine being so fucking short that your fucking short mom is so taller than you, and your short grandma is so taller than you. So I wrote down in the height. I was like, oh, I want him to be tall, like I want to be. So I gave him. I said he's going to be 7 feet. And and I wasn't aware that there was a lot. I was like, I wanted to be tall so bad that I used fictional characters as a way to escape the fact that I was short. And I remember one of my friends in that class looked at me and he said, bro, you know that's very, very tall for a 17 or a 16-year-old. And I was like, yeah, but you know, it's tall. I think I think I said I want to be that tall. And I had 2 friends in high school and they were all very tall. And he looked at me with this pity in his eyes that, oh, I'm never going to be tall. And I'll just stay this way forever. So, fast forward to now. I am, in centimeters, I am 175, which is, I believe it's 5'9" or 5'8". And I was 130 centimeters at grade 7, which means in 3 years I grew a very, very good amount. So I've had a doctor that would track me my height because I was classified as a midget and underdeveloped. And they have this graph of like what percentage of the population is shorter than you. So when I started, I was like at 1%. So means 1% of kids my age who are shorter than me. And I was literally, there was no one at school in my class, in my grade, that was shorter than me. And now, fast forward a few years, I am at 52%, I think, which means basically I'm average height. I went from being classified as a midget, as a fucking wolf, to average height. And I'm only 15. I'm probably going to go taller. And you could say, oh, it's your genetics, you relate developed and stuff. But I think there's a lot of other components that are the reason I'm actually not fucking short. So let me start you with the most important thing if you want to increase your height. Consistency. Because all of the tactics I'll give you and the methods, and some of them are obvious, some of them are less obvious, But if you're not consistent in them, you won't see shit. Let's say sleep. Sleep, you know it's important. So if you sleep 10 hours a night, one night, and then the rest of the week you're just sleeping 7, you're not going to see results, bro. And even if you sleep for a whole week, 10 hours, but then the other months you sleep 7, 8, 7, 6, 7, 6, 6, 6, you're not going to get tall because, listen, you have to be consistent if you actually want to, you know, if you have to be consistent. That's just the thing. And I wish someone told this to me when I started researching growth hormone and height and stuff. So I wish someone told this to me. I wish someone told me, just be consistent with all those things and you'll be fine. You'll grow to, being quite tall. I mean, here's my height. I don't know if you can see. I'm pretty tall. I mean, consider how fucking short I was probably at the length of this chair, and now this is the chair where it ends, like there, and this is me. So no matter what tactic you're going to implement, you must be consistent with it. So look into my eyes and say this to me and to yourself: I am willing to become consistent in this basically just method of height maxing, let's say. So the first actual method is just getting enough sleep and getting good sleep, because there's so much difference between sleeping 8 hours but bad hours rather than sleeping 6 hours a night and those hours being not so good. And I can tell you that 8 hours is enough if you do this consistently, but I would say 9 hours is a pretty must if you want to actually. It's pretty much the prerequisite for all the other methods, because sleep is when the growth hormone is released, and the growth hormone is like the number one factor that determines your height. Next up is getting a good diet. You know that a good diet is important, but you still don't have a good diet, you fucking fool. Let me throw some fucking rock at you. Okay? So, what do you need to do in terms of a good diet? You need to just eat healthy and not junk food. And you need to be a caloric surplus, bulking. Because one of the reasons I was so underweight was because I wasn't eating. Your body needs food to grow, right? So you're not giving it enough food. So I would say if you're very, very short, just dirty bulk. But if you are, not so short, you need to clean bulk. But still, you have to get like 500 calories above your daily average. You can calculate it online, if that's a thing. And the third component is stuff that releases growth hormone, which is training hard in the gym. This releases testosterone and growth hormone. Next one is releasing growth hormone when you're doing saunas, because if you do saunas for like 10 minutes and you sweat, this really increases your growth hormone and testosterone. And if you don't have access to a sauna, that's fine. Just when you will do this. And probably the last one that really increases growth hormone is sprinting and doing anabolic shit. I found out that it really helps to grow your natural growth hormone. If you're like very short, there's treatments that they give to kids that are very short and stuff. But yeah, I would say that's the last result, because height is not everything about it, bro. Next up, we got something that's kind of really important about everybody wishes. So why do you want to be taller? To become more attractive to girls, right? But even if you're tall, when you are like this, no girl is going to like you. You need to stretch down and have good posture, because this can give you like a 10-inch difference when I'm here. This is the line, or when I'm here. See that difference? This difference. That's a lot of fucking height. So you need to go fucking taller. That's very simple. By just straighten your posture. So what you gotta do is your neck looks like this. You gotta straighten it out, right? So for the rest of this video, all you gotta do is take your hand, put it, and make a double chin like this. You'll see my whole chest opens up, right? And now I look taller, I feel taller, I feel taller, and yeah, that's it. And the last thing I want to say is, if you're consistent in all those things and you still don't get any results, then what I would say you should consider is that height is not everything. I feel like 5'1". There are always girls that will be below you in height, probably, because let's say you are below average in height, an average height girl is still at your height or maybe a little bit less, and and again, basically the equivalent. Let's say you're considered short as a man, so a short female will still be fucking shorter than you, and if you're average, then average female will still be shorter than you. And honestly, you do want a lot, honestly, of height difference between you and your girl, but that's fine. Even just being this taller than her, it still makes you feel more masculine and stronger. So that is how you actually go taller. And hope you enjoyed around 45, 35, 43, I don't know. Subscribe and like and watch the next rant and the videos and my shorts. Subscribe and like me and love me and buy all my products. And actually, one last thing, I've started doing coaching calls, and I think you'll really benefit. If you want one-on-one advice with me, just click the link down below. Ring, 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 ring. Just do this. Bye.